Hi everybody, I am with June Cory today. June looks at pay-per-click advertising. June, I've used pay-per-click advertising, but I've not really done it in a way that works that well for my business until now. Okay, but tell me the value of pay-per-click, or the difference between why somebody should be using pay-per-click advertising rather than trying to market their business in other ways. What's the attraction for somebody using pay-per-click advertising?
Okay, coming from a newspaper background, I used to say to people, put those words and that picture in that box on that page. Good luck, hope the phone rings. It was a crazy way of making a living, and an even crazy way of spending your marketing budget.
Yeah.
The beauty about pay-per-click is it's absolutely transparent. I can tell you how many people saw your ad, how many people clicked on the advert, how many people then filled in a form or added to basket. It's the transparency that I love. There's nowhere for people like me to hide. We can't say, I hope that works for you, Mr. Customer. It's the transparency, the beauty of it.
You're right, actually, because I've always said this, the only way that from a conversion point of view that you'd be able to tell whether your advertising campaigns or your marketing campaigns are working is to be able to measure it in some way. And with pay-per-click, you can measure it.
Yeah.
And you can test, you can do split testing, so you can test some campaigns with slightly different wording around your advert, to see which ones get the best response.
Absolutely. So we start almost backwards. So the most common, the most popular pay-per-click is Google search. So type something in, Mulberry handbag, just in case they were hearing this. Mulberry handbag, the advert comes up, I click on it, boom. It's nice and straightforward. It's where buyer and seller are put together in that beautiful cataclysmic point where they actually get together. So that's the most straightforward. But we start with a list of keywords. It might be mulberry Bayswater, might be mulberry handbag, might be blue mulberry handbag. We then run a variety of different test ads, because what I respond to is very different to how you respond. And then we often send to 2 different pages. So there's 3 things here we can split test: the keyword that generates the right person, the ad text that generates the right person, and the landing page that gets them to add to basket and put in their credit card. And all of this is tested and measuring, but it has to be done carefully. I mean, I've learnt patience since selling pay-per-click advertising.
Really?
Yeah, patience. It's, you just don't know. You can't make a quick decision. And I think you said earlier, people have tried pay-per-click. It's a bit like trying dentistry. You can't try that. You can't try hairdressing. You have to be patient, and you have to use expertise, and it's all about number crunching, to be perfectly honest. But your clients are out there. It's just about finding them, and why wouldn't you use pay-per-click to find them and measure them as accurately as you possibly can?
Okay, so I'm aware of Google AdWords, Facebook. What other pay-per-click, what other areas are there?
Okay, well, Google have got 7. So we've got search, which is just typing in, straightforward. Okay. There's the Google Display Network, which you will have seen, but you wouldn't have known existed. So you're on another site, you're on the FT, you're on a sports site, a wedding site, a leisure site, a holiday site, and you'll see adverts along the top, down the right-hand side. It used to say sponsored by Google or powered by Google. It doesn't so much now. That's the Google Display Network. Right. You can reach 80% of internet users globally on the Google Display Network. Okay. It's them getting in bed with publisher sites. And they're often display adverts rather than a little text advert, and they are served up via the Google network, so pay-per-click. So if you want to reach people that are bridezillas, you can go, I'll tell you what, Google, I'd like to be on all the wedding sites in London, all the wedding sites for users in London. That's a Google Display Network. Okay. That's the second most popular type of advertising from a pay-per-click point of view. There's remarketing. So you've looked at the mulberry handbag. Did I say it again? You've looked at the mulberry handbag, and then you're on another site and you see a picture of the mulberry handbag. Remarketing, aka stalking.
A lot of people, it is stalking.
Stalking.
When I first came across this, I thought, oh, that's clever, because I got remarketed to. I think I bought a shed or something, and then I was looking for handbags or something, and I particularly, it was through Debenhams or something like that, and then I came off for some random reason. I might have had a phone call or something like that, and then later on in the day it popped up, and I went, ooh, that's scary but clever.
I think it's God telling me to buy it, but that's just me. Maybe that says more about me as a shopper than a marketeer. I think the beauty of it is the downside is, like most things in marketing, done badly, it's awful. It's very stalkerish. You can see adverts all over the place.
Yeah.
You can actually cap it, and we do with our clients. You see it everywhere, and also the message. So if you bought the jeans, don't show me an advert for jeans. Tell me a picture for the shoes that go with the jeans. If I bought the handbag, show me the purse that goes with the handbag.
Yeah, and whilst we're not talking about remarketing, that's the bit where I think other businesses fail, because I had the same pair of I had the same item remarketed to me again afterwards, and I thought, okay, well you've not
It's
done
lazy.
this right.
That's thrown off at a wall and
that's when you probably would be put off by a company because it's adverts that really are unwanted.
Yeah, exactly right. Now it is really non-commission marketing. You're quite right. So, but they use the Google use the Google Display Network to do remarketing. Then there's app adverts, so mobile ads on apps. Again, you've seen adverts. Most people are using apps now in some form. Ads along the bottom.
Yeah.
So again, that's really good for selling your own app. Video ads. So YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world, only second to Google. Its best friend and its owner. And between the ages of 18 and 35, 50% of people, when they go onto Google, they hit video. They want it in video format. They don't want words. So it's a really powerful audience. You can choose people by demographic. So I know I can reach 18-year-old boys that live in Sheffield that like Fast and Furious movies. If they're my target market, I can find them through video. There is good old-fashioned Google Shopping. So when you go in, I'm not going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. Mulberry handbag. You'll see it. The first listing on Google now is not the paid for advert. It's not the map, and it's not organic. It's those ads along the top, which are Google Shopping. So that is an alternative to search for our e-commerce clients, and that's really powerful. You're talking about pennies, but you have to work that well. So there's 7 products. I think that's 7 products. Have I got everything? Yeah, 7 products from Google. No, Gmail ads. This is very exciting. So a lot of people on Gmail, about 30 million users of Gmail in the UK. Half of those still have 3 channels, this will mean something to your listeners if they've got Gmail. So they have your inbox, then you have a social box, then you have a promotions box. In the promotions box, you can serve up adverts. Perhaps if you have a competitor in the area and you would like to trigger it by using their competitor's name, so when one of your potential customers sees something from your competitor, they also follow it up with an advert. Stalking again, but nice stalking. Yeah. Then there's good old-fashioned Facebook that you mentioned, very powerful. 31 million people, can't be wrong. Twitter, mail, 70% mail in the UK, and 80% of them are mobile. So if your target market are mobile males, you'd be crazy not to look at Twitter advertising. Instagram, now a possibility, down with the kids I am, Instagram. And still my favourite is LinkedIn.
Yeah.
The most phenomenal B2B opportunity in the UK today.
It's funny because when I've talked to previous marketers, nobody's really mentioned LinkedIn pay-per-click with me. And I think it's because they don't really know how it works or the bigger benefits of it. LinkedIn was my first social media site, effectively, because I signed up when I was working on it, just to meet other like-minded people in my profession. So
it's scary. 10 years ago there were 5 million UK users. Today in 2016 there's 22 million. If you think 22 million people, that's more than half the workforce. Headhunters go there, employers go there, employees go there. It's your best friend, it's your little black book, it's your Rolodex, it's everybody you ever met, anybody you ever worked with. It's really a very strong way, and you can target those people. So if you want to get in front of HR managers in London in pharmaceuticals, you can find them on LinkedIn. So the targeting is really smart. So a combination of this, what's not to like? We're literally talking about driving the right people with the right message to the right page of your website, and you only pay when they click. Perfect.
The other thing, and I wrote an article on this, find it on my LinkedIn page, traction marketing versus interruption marketing. So Facebook is predominantly a social media site where you look up funny things, what's in your feed, what your family up to, and they're posting these marvelous things. And I have to admit, anything to do with animals I am laughing my socks off with it. I really am. And then suddenly an ad appears. Now, quite often, I'll just flick through that. So that is interruption marketing.
Yep.
That's when you're forcing somebody to look at your ad, although they're effectively not working at that time. And they've got leisure time and the downtime, and they're not looking for specific products. So attraction marketing is what you're talking about, which is where you're specifically targeting people who are searching for your products or services.
On Google search,
On Google
yes.
search.
Most of them are interruption though.
Right.
Yeah. The other out of the 10 common pay-per-click options, 9 of them are interruption.
So would you say that LinkedIn is interruption?
Yep. Because they're not looking for your service at the moment. Let's pretend I want the HR managers to tell them about my new training course. They're not looking for that, but I know what they do for a job, and I know they're on LinkedIn. But it's about messaging being right, because otherwise you get that awful clash, which is why they're showing me this. Some marketers are lazy, and that's the downside. We've got the technology to be able to be really, really targeted. So why wouldn't you be really, really targeted? So if I was doing a campaign targeting HR managers in pharmaceuticals in London, I'd make sure the ad copy said that. I'd make sure the click through to the webpage tells me something of value. But again, I think you've probably been the same. When you're on Facebook, you're seeing things that are completely irrelevant. I like cats, I'm a cat person, not a dog person. Don't show me an advert for a dog. I'm just not interested at all. And in fact, it gets a very negative response, rather than I'm not passive about it. I'm like, why are you showing me that? The genius about a Facebook pay-per-click is that it says, I'll see Chanel, and it will say Zoe likes Chanel. Now I have a relationship with Zoe, so all of a sudden it's that your friends like this, why won't you like it? And that's what Facebook have done very cleverly. But I think it's great. I think other marketeers would disagree, but I think Facebook's great for B2C. I'm not a fan from a B2B point of view.
But and I think that's understanding where your business lies within marketing, and a lot of business owners will try everything. And they might do it themselves, let's face it, and then fail and go,
Didn't work.
It didn't work. But that's not necessarily the case. It's just that you need to, if you're going to do it right, and I always say, go to the professionals to get it done for you. Because you should just be focusing on your business and not on necessarily the marketing, but you really have to have a good understanding of the marketing and who your customer is.
That's it. Before you start, and it's the first question I say, who are they? And we were talking earlier about, everyone, I'll any SME in Hertfordshire. Really? That's nonsense. We all got a very good idea, but it does take a little bit of thought. Who are they? Where are they? Then we can go and find them with the right message and give them the right proposition.
And also, I mean, you probably, do you ever look at, or should I say, despair over the pages that your clients are then sending their pay-per-click marketing to? Yeah. We
start backwards. We start with the landing page. Start with the landing page first and foremost. And people will say to me, I can't believe it. I'm absolutely nowhere. I get nothing on tax advice. They're an accountancy firm. I say, it doesn't actually say tax advice anywhere, does it? Because we're all too like this with our businesses. So we start with the end in mind, and it sounds cliched, but I'm going to be selling tickets to the FA Cup final. I'm going to find these people, I'm going to write the most rip-roaring ad copy, because that's what I do for a living, and then it's a bit like, tickets to the FA Cup final, if they then hit a page that's a bit like Sunday League football, they bounce. It's very easy, the easiest thing in the world to do. We all know it, you hit that back button, you're gone. And so we monitor response rates, we monitor bounce rates, we monitor how, average time on site. Because that's where the really exciting stuff happens. I can get them there, that's not a problem, but it's what they do when they're
that's
there.
it. I mean, a few years ago, everyone was talking about driving traffic to your website or your campaigns, and it's like, but when they get there, how are you converting them? And a lot of marketers weren't bothered about that, because they were just thinking about, okay, well, I've driven all that, you wanted X amount of...
No, it's about conversion.
So it's changing. And at least it's changing.
I think it's overdue, because what's to say? I could drive 1,000 people into your shop, but I need them to buy something when they get there. And people say to me, it's all right, because I get 1,000 people to my website. Really? I'd be much, much happier if you got 10 people to your website and 8 people picked up the phone. It's not a numbers game.
It's the conversion. It's how many of them you are converting. I think I think if you're lucky to get 2% conversion on your website,
Yes.
that's pretty good these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
I personally want you to have more, obviously, and hopefully you will have more by watching these videos and everything else. But the other thing, the cost, because a lot of people go, oh, do you know what, I've got to pay like £25 a click.
Mm-hmm.
And what people have to remember is what's the value of that sale to you
Mm-hmm.
over a lifetime.
Yep.
And you were talking about one guy who would
Yeah.
didn't want to spend £75 or whatever
Yeah,
it was.
that's right,
So his
yeah.
value of his product was
100. Yeah, his average order value was £140,000, but he was horrified that I was saying it's going to be £17 a click. Okay. I mean, it's just about return on investment. There is a sweet spot between the price you pay per click and your average order value, and some of those things need a little bit of adjustment, but it has to produce an ROI. But we're only driving traffic. And some of these things are very competitive. For example, ladies' car insurance is about £100 a click on Google.
Yeah.
Wow. Don't do pay-per-click.
No.
But you can find them in a variety of different other places. So it's just finding, of those 10, I think I just mentioned the 10, the big ones, there is something there for your product and your business, definitely. There's something, it's just about working out what's going to suit you. But you're right, there is a sweet spot between what you pay per click and your average order value.
Okay. Now, what else was I going to ask you? Is there a certain time of the year where you think, don't bother?
No.
No? So even,
If
well,
they're not
I guess it
looking-
depends on your business as well.
If they're not looking, they're not clicking. And if they're not clicking, you're not paying. Why would you not be on 24/7, 365 days in a year?
Very true.
Well, if you
no,
have
you're
fun-
absolutely right, because you are paying per click. So if they're looking and they find you and they click through, then they're looking.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter.
Some of our clients will switch off. They'll start at 8 o'clock in the morning and finish at 6 o'clock at night, Monday to Friday, because they want their direct response is what they want. They want someone to pick up the phone. And if you're not manned, then fair enough. There's an argument that someone will fill in a form. But most of our clients, we start with 24/7, 365 days in a year to start with.
So do people come to you who have tried pay-per-click advertising and go, no, it's not worked for me?
Yes.
Do you immediately see, or what's the most common mistakes that they've made?
That they use all of Google's default settings.
Yeah.
So that's why Google make 33 billion. We don't make 33 billion. So we start small, much smaller than most people.
Yeah.
I think we touched on earlier, which is a client that wants the whole of the UK. Let's get it right in your own backyard first. Let's talk about 10 quid a day or 5 quid a day. Start just in your own backyard. Test it and measure it. Do it for a month, and then we can go for world domination. So start really small, and then you should be able to scale it. And also try 2 or 3 things with an open mind. You don't like Twitter, so people don't try Twitter. Try Twitter, because you know what, 15 million people do like Twitter. So it's about having an open mind, being patient. But most people get it wrong because they spent a lot, they threw a lot of money at it in a hurry, and then went, oh my god, the budget's
Money's gone really quickly. Yeah. So how if you were trying a particular pay-per-click area, category, whatever we call it, how long would you recommend trying it for before giving it up?
At least a month.
At least a month.
And Google give away vouchers like giving sweets to a child. So they'll give you a voucher. It's a bit like, come with us. It's like that cigarette at the school gate. Come on, just come with us. But again, get the voucher, but then just do it really sensibly. Choose 3 keywords. Don't choose 30. Don't choose the 300 that the Google are going to suggest for you. But if you're an accountant, go for accountant, accountants, and accountancy service. Do the target area. We're in sunny Hemel Hempstead this morning. Do it in Hemel Hempstead, and just do it Monday to Friday, because you only want phone calls initially, and just see what happens after a month. Learn some patience.
What about negative keywords?
Oh, I love them. We normally end up with
what
a negative keyword is. It's the bad word. So, for example, if you are on Google and you are selling, let me have a little think. You are car insurance. So you would have a key phrase, which is car, followed by insurance. Google will also trigger your ad if someone put in free car insurance or car insurance for 18-year-olds. And so the for 18-year-olds becomes a negative. If that's not what you sell and you don't want your ad to trigger, you would make that a negative keyword. So other common negative keywords are free, comparison, review, how to, jobs, salary, all the things that create lots of search audience, but not necessarily your type of search audience, and you refine that again on a daily basis. That's the boring bit, but actually that's the really powerful bit. We end up with 5 keywords and 150 negative keywords.
Yeah, because the negative ones are the important bits, because they're the bits that you don't want. So like, I don't know, it's like if you, like for me, I'm a consultant, but I'm not offering consultancy jobs. Yeah. So I have jobs in there as a
salary is a good one. Consultant salary. Yeah. Consultant job, jobs, careers. Yeah.
So should you have a longer phrase as well that people might use?
Yes, absolutely. We start with a variety initially, but first of all, you'll nail it pretty quickly. You'll know. And the beauty of it on Google, you can see it's called see search terms. You'll see exactly what people put in. And then you can go, that's a good keyword, or actually that's a really bad keyword. So you either add it to your list or you'll add it to your negative keyword list. Okay.
And should you create a number of different versions of a campaign to see which one gets the best?
You would, for Google search point of view, you would have a variety of different keywords, a variety of different ads, and test the landing pages. Those 3 things, the holy trinity.
Okay. Any other advice that you might want to give?
Keep an open mind. If you're going to do Google search, use a Google partner. They are all up and down the country. They are trained by Google to get the best out of the program. I would go there. What do they say? It's expensive to use a professional, but not half as expensive it is to use an amateur. So these people are. It's very easy. These products are great. There's no 2 ways about it. But only professional people should be used. Really should be used. But keep an open mind. Go in, particularly if it's Google's voucher that you're spending to start with. But start small. Start small, and then when it starts to work, start to increase it and increase the areas and everything. I love all that. Good.
I have become a big fan now of pay-per-click advertising, and especially for my business, I think it's going to be very much worthwhile because I can really target. So guys, if you've not tried pay-per-click advertising, do what June suggests. Find a professional out there who does it, if not June, and see how you get on with it. In fact, let me know. Anybody who's gone out and done pay-per-click advertising, whether it's failed or whether it's been a success. I'd like to hear back from you guys to sort of tell me how well you've done with that. Okay, June, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
And guys, I will talk to you, or you will hear me soon if you're listening in on my podcast. Thank you. Bye.